flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to this January 13th meeting of the Lewis and Clark County Commission. And I'm going to take a little executive privilege from time to time this year as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence to just bring up some things in the history. Just 250 years ago this week is when Thomas Paine wrote Common Sense. The little articles that stirred a lot of our forefathers to think about a different form of government. So keep that in your mind, and we'll be talking about more of them as the year progresses. We have, I'm Tom Rolfe. I'm chair of the commission this year. To my left is Andy Hunthausen, and to his left is Nadine McCarty, who's going to be our recording secretary today, and Jenny Chambers, Director of Public Works and Planning. To my right, Candace Payne, Commissioner, and two of our friends from the County Attorney's Office to keep us on track and legal, Nico Hash and T.J. Murphy. And to their right is Roger Baltz, our Chief Administrative Officer. There is a sign-in sheet just on the other side of the bar. Also, copies of our agenda for today's meeting. Encourage you to sign up for us, if you would. First item we have on our agenda today is a resolution, consent action item. Mr. Baltz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This is item 2A on your agenda today. It's Resolution 2026-6, declaring county property surplus property. Staff recommends approval of that item. Thank you very much.
All right. Are there any questions from the Commission? Any questions about this consent action item? Is there any public comment? Any public comment on this item? There being none, can we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve consent action item 2A as presented.
Second.
Is there any discussion from the Commission? Any discussion on this item? There being none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of Resolution 2026-6, declaring county property surplus property, as explained by Mr. Baltz, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Next, we'll move to action items. Our first is a bid opening for 2026 material crushing. Dan Karlin.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. For the record, I am Dan Karlin, County Engineer. And today we are opening bids for the 2026 material crushing processing project. This is generally crushing about 40,000 tons of material retrieved from our Applegate pit and processing that down to our 3/4 inch minus crushed aggregate surfacing material. And also processing 14,500 cubic yards of millings to a 1.25 inch minus condition. And then stockpiling both materials in cone piles at our pit for use. Today we have bids for that. I have 3 separate sealed bids. This first one is from Valley Sand and Gravel. Right, the bid form is included and appears to be completely filled out. They've included their bid bond. All right, they have submitted a bid of $259,750.00. The second bid is from Montana Materials and Construction of Helena, Montana. I believe I forgot to mention Valley Sand and Gravel is of Helena, Montana. They've included a bid bond. And it appears their bid form is filled out completely. They have submitted a bid of $247,480. Again, $247,480. And our third and final bid is from Faction Constructors of Columbus, Montana. They've included a bid bond. And it appears their bid form is completely filled out. They have submitted a bid of $277,180.
Again?
$277,180. Staff would like to take these bids under advisement and come back to the commission on January 27th with a recommendation for award.
Okay. Just a little bit of a review. All bids for these sorts of projects are submitted sealed, and they're not open until we come to a meeting like this, and try to keep everything as even and above board as possible. And then we usually ask the staff to review them, make sure the bids all conform to our needs and to the bids that are provided, and to the specifications provided, and then come back and give us a recommendation as to which bid to take. Are there any questions from the commission?
No, would you spell the name of the entity from Columbus? I didn't understand the bidder from Columbus's.
Absolutely, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Payne, it is Faction, Faction, and Constructors.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions? There being none, are there any comments from the public on this item? Is there any public comment? There being no public comment, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the bid opening as presented by Dan Karlin and ask our Dan and the rest of the staff to come back and advise us as to their recommendation as to how to deal with this contract. I'm sorry.
On the date?
On the date of, what did he say?
January 27th?
January 27th.
Second.
Thank you.
Right?
Second.
Second. Any comment from the commission? Any discussion from the commission on the motion? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of sending these bids to the staff for analysis and for them to return on January 27th with a recommendation, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
They're leaving.
Motion passes unanimously. Next item on our agenda is item 3B, grant application to the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services. Sarah Sandau.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission. I'm Sarah Sandau. I'm the Grant Specialist at Lewis and Clark Public Health. Today I have before you a grant application, from the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services for their harm reduction and prevention to reduce opioid overdoses in Montana funding opportunity. The grant period would begin once awarded and runs through August 31st, 2026 in the amount of $5,000. Montana's injury prevention program in the Department of Public Health and Human Services supports overdose prevention efforts statewide. Through the Centers for Disease Control Overdose Data to Action States Cooperative Agreement, the state funding projects aim to increase prevention and harm reduction in order to reduce non-fatal and fatal overdoses, focusing on opioids, stimulants, and multi-use. Projects are intended to be implemented at a local level across the state. Lewis and Clark Public Health would like to apply for the $5,000 to support our universally offered home visiting program, which we call Grow Together. Home visitors are a vital but often underfunded connection point for pregnant women and families with young children affected by the opioid epidemic. The purpose of home visiting is to reach families at a critical time of pregnancy and postpartum, setting them up for success and establishing a strong base for their new baby. Home visitors build close and trusting relationships with families, they promote healthy parent-child bonds, and help parents build their parenting skills, knowledge, and resiliency. Because of this, home visitors are uniquely positioned to facilitate timely, quality care coordination in both prenatal and postnatal periods. They identify substance use and assess risks for substance use and ensure that pregnant and parental caregivers and their infants can connect to resources that they need. So Grow Together specifically is a universally offered home visiting program within Lewis and Clark Public Health that provides pregnant women and their family up to 4 home visits regardless of their income across a 5-county region of Lewis and Clark, Broadwater, Jefferson, Marr, and Powell counties. Visits may occur during pregnancy, postpartum, and through the baby's first year. Specifically, the program with this funding would aim to do 4 things. 1, prevent overdose deaths by increasing availability, distribution, training, and education of naloxone. Expand the best practice of the specific survey, which is called Screening, Brief Intervention, and Referral to Treatment to Pregnant and Postpartum Women. So that would be a screening to see if there is substance use in the home that they can refer. Address the needs of pregnant or parenting women and their families, and expand warm handoff services to other organizations, either early childhood or substance use, if anything comes out in that screening that needs addressed. This $5,000 would complement the funds that the county has already granted to this program from the local opioid funds. They would go together for a similar goal. Staff recommends approval, and I'm here for questions.
Are there any questions from the staff?
I have a
Commissioner Payne.
question. Sandy, do we have, I see we're including Broadwater, Jefferson, Marr, and Powell counties. Do their county commissions have to also approve this, or is this just because it's Lewis and Clark?
Thank you. Great question, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Payne. At this point, those commissioners would not need to approve this funding source, but they have been educated about the universally offered home visiting and what's happening in their county. But since the funding's coming through our county, you're the only ones approving this funding source, but they are aware of the program.
Okay. So, one more. Does staff from our county then provide the services to these other counties, or do they have staff that does it themselves?
Yeah, thank you. Our staff locally at Lewis and Clark Public Health are the ones who serve those 5 counties. Often, if it's in Broadwater or Jefferson, it will include the home visits. If it's more like Mar or Powell, we also offer virtual so that we can talk to them remotely because, of course, travel time does take a big component. But we reach the needs of even in those counties. If they would need a home visit, we will drive to Mar County or Powell County, of course.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the commission? Other questions? Is there any public comment? Any public comment? There being none, can we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the grant application to the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services as presented by Ms. Sandau.
Second.
Is there any discussion from the commission? Any discussion? None appearing. We'll move to a vote. All those in favor of the grant application to the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, as explained by Sarah Sandau, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. All right, next item on our agenda is grant application to the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services. Again, Sarah Sandau.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the commission. Again, I'm Sarah Sandau, the grant specialist at Lewis and Clark Public Health. Today I have before you a grant application to the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services for their Community Health Improvement Planning implementation funding. The grant period would be approval date through November 30th, 2027 in the amount of $25,000. These funds from the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services is from their Public Health Systems Improvement Office, are meant to support local public health departments in implementing components of our Community Health Improvement Plan. Lewis and Clark County's Community Health Improvement Plan was published in 2025 with the guidance from the Healthy Together Steering Committee. This plan was developed from the data provided from our community health assessment, stakeholder interviews, and community listening sessions. The plan outlines 3 priority areas for our community: behavioral health, chronic disease, and housing. The plan can be found on our Lewis and Clark Public Health website. This funding opportunity would help Lewis and Clark Public Health staff and their coalitions make meaningful strides in the following priority areas. For chronic disease, funds would be used to support staff time to interview community members to gain better insights on what healthy living classes and supports are needed in our community. In collaboration with St. Peter's Health, this would then be brought back to the Aging Well work group for implementation of those findings. For behavioral health, funds would support 2 aspects of the behavioral health priority area. There would be suicide prevention training and an interactive display to discuss the intersection of substance misuse, behavioral health, and physical health. So the application would be a large inflatable brain exhibit, which is a highly effective and interactive health education tool. So the aim is to facilitate conversation and raise community awareness about brain health, diseases, and injury prevention in a memorable way, which a big, large inflatable brain would do. A brain exhibit will provide a neutral way to start the conversation on sensitive topics like mental health and addiction. The exhibit can feature informational panels demonstrating how drugs, alcohol, and vaping can affect the brain. The inflatable exhibit means it will be easily transported around the county, including for events that we have ideas for in Augusta and Lincoln. More information on the tool, they have a website as well that is in the memo. Additionally, for behavioral health, funds will support community partner to conduct 2 mental health awareness trainings per month that are open to the public and will be advertised broadly. These additional trainings will help to expand our current offerings in the community by adding capacity. These efforts will complement the existing trainings and will work to build connections with organizations so that we can have in-house trainers to ensure long-term sustainability of suicide prevention education in our community. Staff recommends approval.
Are there any questions from the commission? Any questions? Commissioner Payne.
So how big is this brain?
Thank you. I should have come with the actual dimensions, but it is large. I would say at least the size of these 3 gentlemen right here. It's large, inflatable. It needs a generator to be able to blow up the whole stand.
Oh,
That'll
You're
have to
able
get
to
their
like walk
attention.
into it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Any others? Any other questions?
Oh, that's,
Any other questions? All right. Is there any public comment? Any public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. I'm sorry, we'll look for a motion. Is there a motion?
Chairman Rolfe, I move that we approve the grant application to the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services as presented by Sarah.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any discussion? There being none, we will move now to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, next item on our agenda is a change order between Lewis and Clark County and CDW Government LLC. James Thomas.
Morning, Chairman Rolfe, Commissioners. James Thomas, I'm the City and County IT Director. Originally, our contract was back in October of 2024 as we began our Phase 2 of our network modernization project. Our contract was for professional network engineering services, and originally it was for 92 hours of professional services. We only consumed 39 and a half hours of that contract, leaving us a balance of 52.5 hours. Before you this morning is a change order to re-engage professional services between Lewis and Clark County and CDW government. The change order will provide another senior technical engineer to assist our internal staff with integrating a new feature called Network Access Control into our new network and allow the county to use the remaining 52 and a half hours of this contract. The original contract was projected at $24,340 after a discount with CDW that offered us, and the 39 and a half hours spent during Phase 2, we were left with a balance of $14,437 on that contract. This contract has been reviewed and approved by both the County Procurement Office and the County Attorney's Office. Staff recommends approval of the change order with an estimated cost of $14,437 and authorize the chair to sign. Be happy to address any questions.
So what I'm hearing, and after our discussion, is that we didn't use all of the money that was set aside for the original professional help.
Chairman, that is correct.
And now you're wanting to use the balance for projects ongoing this year.
Chairman, that is also correct.
All right. All right. Are there any questions from the commission?
Mr. Chair, I could.
Commissioner Hunt.
Mr. Thomas, thanks. This good news, I think, thrifty and then using our capacity to get more done. Just wanted to, for those that might be watching today, just a little bit of education. What kinds of things would this help be assisting us with? Just give people a picture of kind of our modernization and what this person might help with or this team might help with.
Chairman Rolfe, Commissioner Hunthausen, this takes us a step further down the road with adding layers of security into our new network. Without going into lots of detail, which we don't want to provide in a public meeting, the new layers of security basically, if it's an organizationally owned device, it will automatically connect into our network. If it's a non-organizational device, it's rejected.
could you tell me what organizational device means?
Chairman Rolfe, Commissioner Payne. Organizational device is basically a city device, county device. Basically, it's known to this organization, managed by the IT department.
Thank you.
Well, it seems to me that this is an example of staff being very frugal with our resources, the resources that we've assigned, and when you didn't have to use it, maybe use staff to do some of this originally planned work, and now having a little extra money that we can use to help us down the road a little bit. So, thank you for your judicious use of the of the taxpayers' money. Is there any other questions? Is there any public comment? Any public comment on this item? There being none, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the change order between Lewis and Clark County and CDW Government LLC as presented by Mr. Thomas.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on the motion? Any further discussion? We'll move to a vote. All those in favor of the change order between Lewis and Clark County and CDW Government LLC, as explained by James Thomas, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. All right. Well, we've arrived at the end of our regular items. We always keep some time at the end to offer the public an opportunity to bring up matters within the jurisdiction of the county commission that are not on today's agenda. And we like to make that offer at the end of every meeting, in case there are things that we've missed that the public are concerned about and want us to know about. So, is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? There being none, we're adjourned.